you guys, I've done it. I have committed Prufrock, meaning I have memorized the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock, the whole thing. And I have a bowl of colored barista badges to prove it. Well, I'll accept one. This one, what they call the epigraph, those first lines that are in Italian from Dante's Inferno. Yeah, I haven't memorized that part yet. Maybe I will sometime, maybe. But I am comforting myself with the fact that I found a YouTube video of T.S. Eliot reciting the poem, and he didn't include that part either, so I figure I'm in good company. Speaking of which, look who's here. The master himself. Today, July 19th, 2017, is Take Your Poet to Work Day. It's a worldwide event that Tweetspeak Poetry sponsors every year. And a few years back, Tom traveled with me on vacation to northern Michigan, to my hometown of Gaylord, where he attended the Alpenfest with me. And so to get ready for the big event, he got dressed up in festive affair in his lederhosen and his alpine hat. And he hasn't changed his clothes yet. So, but that's okay. That's all right. He's kind of cute. The other thing is, do you remember the iguana that came to visit one time? Yeah, it came back yesterday, and Tom is he's a little afraid. So he's kind of asked that he just be quietly set aside. Just go down there and hang out, so to speak, where the iguana can't see him, and he'll be down there to cheer me on and clap or boo, whichever the case may be. And I confess I do have, a little cheat sheet over here in case I get distracted or lose myself or something. So I might have to glance over there once in a while just to kind of check myself. This is a long poem, and I got the first part down a lot better than I do the last part. Probably because I've recited it more often, I suppose. So, anyway, here we go. The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock by T.S. Eliot. Let us go then, you and I, when the evening is spread out against the sky like a patient etherized upon a table. Let us go through certain half-deserted streets, the muttering retreats of restless nights and one-night cheap hotels, and sawdust restaurants with oyster shells. Streets that follow like a tedious argument of insidious intent to lead you to an overwhelming question. Oh, do not ask what is it. Let us go and make our visit. In the room, the women come and go, talking of Michelangelo. The yellow fog that rubs its back upon the window panes, the yellow smoke that rubs its muzzle on the window panes, licked its tongue into the corners of the evening, lingered upon the pools that stand in drains, that fall upon its back the soot that falls from chimneys, slipped by the terrace, made a sudden leap, and seeing that it was a soft October night, curled once about the house and fell asleep. And indeed there will be time for the yellow smoke that slides along the street, rubbing its back upon the window panes. There will be time to prepare a face to meet the faces that you meet. There will be time to murder and create, and time for all the works and days of hands that lift and drop a question on your plate. Time for you and time for me, and time yet for 100 indecisions, and for 100 visions and revisions, before the taking of a toast and tea. And in the room, the women come and go, talking of Michelangelo. And indeed there will be time to wonder, do I dare and do I dare? Time to turn back and descend the stair with a bald spot in the middle of my hair, and they will say, but how his hair is growing thin. My morning coat, my collar mounting firmly to the chin, my necktie rich and modest but asserted by a simple pin, they will say, but how his arms and legs are thin. Do I dare disturb the universe? In a minute there is time for decisions and revisions, which a minute will reverse. And I have known them all already, known them all, have known the evenings, mornings, afternoons. I've measured out my life with coffee spoons. I know the voices dying with a dying fall beneath the music from a farther room. So how should I presume? And I've known the eyes already, known them all, the eyes that fix you in a formulated phrase. And when I am formulated, sprawling on a pin, and when I am pinned and wriggling on the wall, then how shall I begin to spit out all the butt ends of my days and ways, and how should I presume? And I've known the arms already, known them all, arms that are braceleted and white and bare, but in the lamplight downed with light brown hair. Is it perfume from a dress that makes me so digress? Arms that lie along a table or wrap around a shawl? And how and should I then presume, and how should I begin? Shall I say I've gone at dusk through narrow streets and watched the smoke that rises from the pipes of lonely men in work in shirt sleeves leaning out of windows? I should have been a pair of ragged claws scuttling across the floors of silent seas. And the afternoon, the evening, sleeps so peacefully, asleep, tired, or smoothed by long fingers, asleep, tired, or it malingers stretched on the floor here beside you and me. Shall I, after tea and cake and ices, have the strength to force the moment to its crisis? But though I've wept and fasted, wept and prayed, though I've seen my head grown slightly bald, brought in on a platter, I am no prophet, and here is no great matter. I have seen the greatness, I've seen the moment of my greatness flicker, and I've seen the eternal footman hold my coat and snicker. And in short, I was afraid. And would it have been worth it, after all, after the cups, the marmalade, the tea, among the porcelain, among some talk of you and me? Would it have been worthwhile to have bitten off the matter with a smile? To say, or to have squeezed the universe into a ball, to roll it towards some overwhelming question, to say, I am Lazarus come from the dead, come back to tell you all? I shall tell you all. And if one, settling a pillow by your head, should say, that's not what I meant at all. That is not it at all. And would it have been worth it after all? Would it have been worthwhile after the sunsets and the dooryards and the sprinkled streets? After the teacups, after the novels, after the teacups, after the skirts that trail along the floor, and this and so much more? It's impossible to say just what I mean, but as if a magic lantern threw the nerves in patterns on a screen, would it have been worthwhile if one, settling a pillow or throwing off a shawl and turning toward a window, should say, that is not it at all. That's not what I meant at all. No, I am not Prince Hamlet, nor was meant to be. I'm an attendant lord, one that will do to swell up progress, start a scene or two. Advise the prince, no doubt an easy tool, deferential, glad to be of use, politic, cautious, and meticulous, full of high sentence, but a bit obtuse, at times, indeed, almost ridiculous, almost at times, the fool. I grow old, I grow old. I shall wear the bottoms of my trousers rolled. Shall I part my hair behind? Do I dare to eat a peach? I shall wear white flannel trousers and walk along the beach. I've heard the mermaids singing each to each. I do not think that they will sing for me. I've seen them riding seaward on the waves, combing the white hair of the waves blown back when the wind blows the water white and black. We have lingered in the chambers of the sea with sea girls wreathed with seaweed red and brown, till human voices wake us and we drown. Okay, it's not perfect, but it's done. And Thanks for going on this journey with me. I think it's only getting started. There are more poems to be memorized and some surprises yet to come. And I'll see you next time. Maybe I'll move on to more Robert Frost. Okay, bye-bye.